Hello everyone. Today we'll demonstrate how to install the Keras. We'll be using the Keras ID for practical application of various machine learning algorithms. It is basically ID for implementing various machine learning application. It works on the backbone of the TensorFlow by Google. It uses TensorFlow as its backend. All machine learning algorithms, all kinds of data sets can be programmed using the Keras IDE. Here I'll demonstrate you how to install the Keras utility. The Keras is basically a framework, kind of IDE you can say, to run various build and run the various machine learning application. It runs on the backend called TensorFlow, which is developed by the Google. The Keras supports almost all kind of interfaces with the database, coding every inbuilt libraries for the coding various machine learning applications. It has various implementation using Python, like the utility which is installed via Anaconda called SciPy. It can be linked with Octave or various Jupyter Lab or Jupyter Notebook. So there are various applications which can be integrated with this Keras Studio. Okay, let us start with the installation process. Here the assumption is you don't have any previous installation of Keras or Python. If at all you have some previous installation, you will have to first uninstall all that application and then start with the Keras installation. I'll be referring to the video created by Zeph and published on this YouTube video link. So thanks to Zeph, and with this acknowledging his contribution, we'll start with the installation. So go to the Anaconda website simply by typing Anaconda Python, or you can directly navigate to anaconda.org. There you can click on downloads. In downloads you will find two installers. One is Python 3.6 version and another is Python 2.7 version. We'll be using Python 3.6 version throughout our course. Sometime we'll refer to Octave. Some other session we'll discuss how to use Octave as well. Select the appropriate version, that is 64-bit or 34-bit according to your operating system. So I'll be using 64-bit version for my installation. Simply click on the installation, the download link. After download, the download will start. It takes certain time to download depending on the speed and the type of internet connection you have. After downloading, simply click on run Anaconda. Depending on the operating system, you need to simply select what kind of user you want to install it for. Right click, run it as administrator if you are logged in as a different user. Once you select, you have to accept the terms and click next. After clicking next, it will ask you for the license agreement. It is open source version, so you agree and next. Now here you have to choose whether you want to install it for yourself or other users as well. So I'll be selecting just for me and click on next. So no other user will be able to. Then you can select the path where you wish to install. Then select the location where you have the sufficient free space. On an average it requires 2.5 GB of the space. And then click next. Here if you have, let's say, the version installed and the path register environment path variable registered into Windows, that means you can simply check it by logging into the command prompt and then type Python. If it starts Python, that means you have already the Python environment variable registered. If it gives the message that Python not found, then you don't have any previous installation of the environment variable register. Now, I recommend to add this path to Anaconda Python, but for this particular installation I won't be using this for several reasons. So uncheck this both the box and click on install. After installation, it will show, after successful installation, it will show you this screen. If you want to learn more about Anaconda, you can leave this check box on. Support, currently I'll uncheck this and then click on finish. So once you install the Anaconda, you will have to launch the Anaconda and check if the Python version is installed by simply typing in the command prompt the Python command. If it shows you the version of the Python, then the Python, you can assume that Python is installed. Now you need to shift to the Anaconda prompt. That you can simply do by going to the start menu and type Anaconda. So you will see the Anaconda prompt if your installation is successful for the Anaconda. Click on this Anaconda prompt. It will open up the prompt which is having the Anaconda and the username written. So here you have to use the various commands to install the pip commands to install the required utilities. There are a list of supporting programs we need to install for before installing the TensorFlow and the Keras. Let us start one by one. So these are the things you need to install. First is Jupyter. Second is SciPy library. Third is sklearn, pandas for the connecting the CSV files or some data sets, matplot library for showing some graphical outcomes, the pillow support for the graphical request, HPyPy the support library, the TensorFlow the backend for the Keras, and finally the Keras. You can mention the version number here. I am mentioning here because the requirements are specifically for this version. If you don't specify the version number, it installs the latest version which is available online. So first we'll start with the Jupyter. The Jupyter you have to simply go to the command prompt. The sequence will be supplied to you in the text file, so simply you can copy and paste that into your command prompt. So first command you need to type is conda install Jupyter. It is case sensitive, make sure you are typing it in a correct case. It will fetch all the packages from the source and install. Make sure your internet is connected before you type the command, and you have sufficient data download speed. Second thing you need to install is the SciPy library, which we'll be using for various implementation. So you have to select yes to allow it to download and install the SciPy library. So go on installing all other libraries, then pip install sklearn. You may get depending on the type of installation or operating system you are having, the message that pip 3 is available or the current pip version is outdated. You can simply ignore that message and continue with installing the libraries which are listed out here. So check out the messages, make sure that there are no error messages popped up in between. Generally it is highlighted in red color if there is some error in installation. So now we'll install the pandas data reader, then go to the matplot library. It says requirement already satisfied, that means it is already installed with some other utility. Then we'll install the payload. After this we'll install the requests, then h5y, and now time for the most important utility, that is TensorFlow. It's a machine learning library by Google. It has almost all libraries for implementing various machine learning application. So the command is pip install TensorFlow equal to the version you wish to install. If you leave the version blank, so why I'm specifying version here, because the libraries which we are specifying here are dependent of has some dependency for this particular version, that is 1.2.1. so if you want to install latest version, you can leave the things blank. That means you can leave the version thing blank. It takes some time. Time may vary depending on the speed of your internet. So generally the Keras takes most of the time compared to other libraries. Now go ahead and type the last command to install the Keras. The command is pip install Keras and specifying the version 2.0.6. It's a stable version, so it is popping out some error. Go to the last line of the error. Copy and paste that into Stack Overflow. I'm giving you all the commands in the text file, so you can simply follow that. So in text file I already mentioned if error what you are supposed to do. So now install it again. So TensorFlow is successfully installed. Now it's time to check if all the packages and utilities are installed successfully or not. So this is how you can install the Keras. Now it's time to start using it, which will demonstrate in the next slide. Now go to the start menu, select Anaconda Navigator. It takes certain time because it loads some frameworks, and that loading of the frameworks takes a little longer depending on the PC and the configuration you have. So once you launch successfully the Anaconda Navigator, you will see the screen something like this, so which has all the installations which we have done through the Anaconda installer. We'll be using Jupyter Lab and Jupyter Notebook and the Spider from this framework. So click on the launch button in the Spider box. It will open the Spider framework. So Spider is the Python framework for, or is Python IDE for implementing advanced AI applications or machine learning applications. So the interface is something like this. Slide changes might be there depending on the version, but on the top you see the menu bar and the toolbar. Then you have the code editor here, the code where you can write your code. Here you have the help window, which can display the help or the files. If you click on File Explorer, Variable Explorer, to check what are the values acquired by the different variable during the execution of the program. And this is output console. You can create multiple output console depending on the programs you wish to run. Here is a sample program. Don't get into the code, but this is just for explaining you how we get output. If you double click on this, the particular variable, it pops you the list of the values that are stored into this particular variable. Once we shift to the variable explorer window, here you will get the output of the code which you can selectively run the lines of code by simply selecting and pressing shift enter, or running that button for only executing that line of code, or you can simply type that particular code in a console window and check its output. So you can selectively run the code. So it is loosely coupled and case sensitive. That means uh, the send the you have to write everything in the particular case only. Thank you for watching. This is all about how to install the Keras libraries. The next video will demonstrate how to write this basic machine learning application using